It's Friday Night Live with Matches 860. Good evening to everybody out there. We have a guest from New Zealand, Spiro. Thanks for joining us. The other usual suspects, we got Pipes and Kayaks in the house, Doug Owen, Luke Reisner, Kirk Maxon, Gumby, the one and only. Good to see everybody. We are smoking the Savinelli 316 with some Billy Bud. Haven't had Billy Bud forever. And it's been a dreary, cool day here in Connecticut, so it's tasting mighty good. Hello, I can't pronounce your name, Games. Earl of Pipes, how you doing? John Walker, Rhonda, how are ya? Thanks for joining us. The Extract. It's Eric, blue collar pipe smoker. They're going fast here. Pipe Writer, Groovin' Piper. My goodness, what do we have in the house already? 40, 42. Cracking open my Canada Dry, relighting my Billy Bud. Have a little story to tell about last Friday's live. I had been watching some videos just prior to the live stream, and there's a guy I follow, Patrick Levar. The information's down in the bucket. I left a comment on one of his videos. He does videos about mobile filmmaking. Really interesting guy. And so I left a comment on one of his videos, and he ended up leaving me a comment on the live stream replay, which made my weekend, because he's kind of a hero of mine. He really pushes you to get out there with the cell phone and take video with it and work with it, and he does some amazing work. So check him out and tell him Matches 860 gave him a big shout out. Sea Smoke Pipes, good to see you. Everybody's going to have a ginger ale. Olive Wood Piper is in the house. How are you, Carl? Don Miles, great to see you. Hope everything is going well with you. Don and I keep in regular contact. James S., thank you for asking. Somebody else was asking me about my wife, and I said, you know, she seems a lot better to me, and she says she feels pretty good. I guess the issue now is she's not producing enough iron, and her iron levels are being depleted quickly. So for the time being, she goes in once a week and gets infused with iron. We got to figure out what that's all about, but for the time being, we're okay. Hello, Ralph. Good to see you. PBR Street Gang, good evening. Thank you very much, Brad. Mark, my lawnmower is being held hostage until probably the first or second week of June. I got the Toro so that it's running. So the whole lawn has been done once, thank goodness. And I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. I was going to take the Toro in and have them fix that next. But I've had that thing apart so many times that I'm pretty sure I can keep it running, but I think I'm going to get rid of it this fall. The other one I bought when I first had problems with the Toro, I picked it up for like $100 at Lowe's. And even if I get one more season out of it, I will feel like it doesn't owe me anything. But I'm pretty sure when I get that back, they're going to tell me that it was the ethanol that clogged up the carburetor. So I don't know. I'm getting too old for this stuff. Aristocob. For anyone who doesn't know, Scott from Aristocob deals with corncob pipes. Check out aristocob.com. The genuine Missouri meerschaums. Heck of a nice guy. Penguin Piper. Tom Sawyer Piper. Good evening. We are smoking Billy Bud in a Savinelli 316. Fun fact for everybody, besides the 673, probably my two other favorite small pipes from Savinelli are the 316, the 305. I love them. Love the way they smoke, love the way they feel. Briar Bear. That reminds me, let's give our weekly shout to briarreport.com and briarreport.org. One of these days I'm going to get smart and just always put that in the bucket, and then I don't have to remember it. Great people there at Briar Report. Hello, piping artist Steph. Thanks for dropping in. Johnny Walker. I have 5 673s. The last ones, compliments of Doug Owen from Cargo Hold out in Paulsbo, Washington. And Peter Chin from Malaysia sent me a 673. Blew me away. James S. You know what? I'll tell a little story because I don't have anything else to do tonight. Where is my, oh, there we are. So back a few years back, you had such notables as the Dagners. They're still notable, but I'm talking about going back a couple of years. Joe Case and a few other people were really pushing pokers at the time, and was one of those things I always kind of wanted one, but I just never pulled the trigger. I had a crabapple tree in the front yard that it's a beautiful tree. When blooms in the spring, it's outrageous, beautiful pink, pinkish red flowers. Anyway, a storm brought down a big chunk of it and it got all out of shape. And I took some of that wood and decided to make a pipe. I made a poker. So this is from that tree in the front yard. And I don't smoke this that often. It smokes great. I just don't smoke it that often. That's my only poker. Fun fact to know. Rustic Piper, thanks for stopping in. Thank you, Scott. I think it took me all of a day to carve that out of a hunk of crabapple tree wood. For all of you people that are looking for the pokers, Joe Case might still be cranking those out. And I know he put up a video saying that he was taking custom orders. So you might want to look at him. He does nice work. Matt the Piper. Lucas. I started, well, my first attempt at smoking a pipe was 1974. And didn't go well because I was smoking cigarettes at the time. Didn't have a mentor. Didn't know anything about pipes and pipe smoking. So in 1994, somewhere around there, I knew that my cigarette days were numbered just because it was getting expensive and I wanted to give it up. Picked up a bunch of Dr. Graybos and tried out all the different over-the-counters. And I went from 94 till really 2004. 2004 is when I pretty much went full-time with a pipe and gave up the cigarettes. Fun little story. Bulldog Piper, I'm doing well, thank you. As a matter of fact, I think this was the first week since I had the flu that I feel just about 100%. Every once in a while I'll get that funny cough, but that's becoming fewer and fewer between. So Doug Owens says Savinelli makes a poker. I didn't know that. Doug Owen is just full of all kinds of information. King Hippo. Yeah, that could very well be. John Gianetti, congratulations on 1 year cigarette free. You will never regret it. I'm not sure what Sarge is doing. James S. What did I smoke? Towards the end, all I smoked were the generic like USA, because you could get them for next to nothing. But for the longest time, it was Winston Lights. piping artist Steph. That's an interesting find. I was on, what was I on? Smokers Forum or something like that. I don't know where you saw that, but that was the last forum that I was ever on, and I think I stopped doing forums probably when I started YouTube in 2011. Hello, bow hunting Hoosier. Hello, Chris Jones. I have been just fine. Right when I finished last Friday night's live stream, I ended up getting called into work. That was a drag. I always shut the phone off when I do the live streams. And a lot of times people will say, oh, are you going to be on tonight? I never know because I'm on call 24/7. But I was about due because I hadn't been called in probably 3 months. And it's usually about every 3 months. Something silly happens in the middle of the night. Hello, Couch. '84 in the house. I like it. Ooh, Savinelli finishes. There are so many different styles, models, finishes, and I like them all. But I tend to stick with the plain stuff. And if I was doing this all over again, I'd probably have nothing but unfinished Savinellis. Ah, BCV Piper. Why didn't I think of Carl Olive Wood Piper as for a poker? Whoever was asking about a poker, check out Olive Wood Piper. Pongo Breyer, good to see you. Yeah, the unfinished Savinellis. I've smoked a lot of pipes, and I just have not found anything that comes close to them, except for a couple of my boot Chacans. Sorry about that. B analog. I don't know what it is about the unfinished pipes, whether they breathe better or maybe it's psychological. I don't think so, because they just seem to smoke like a dream. You almost feel like they're breathing in air through the wood, and I love them. There's a good question, John. Will the internet cut off tobacco sales? If they don't cut off the sales, they'll most certainly start collecting the taxes. TX Crafts 1 needs another Phil Rivara pipe in his life. That can be arranged. Thank you for that input, Doug. I think this subject comes up a couple of times a month. At any rate, try getting an unfinished Savinelli and see if you don't agree. If you're looking for one, Pipe Nook, Eddie Gray sells them, as does Doug Owen. Be analog. That's the other good thing about having an unfinished pipe. You really don't have to do anything with it. They're quite nice the way they are. If you want to make them look a little shiny, you can put some carnauba wax on them. But the old idea that you put finish on a pipe to protect the wood doesn't really hold up with briar, because briar is like steel. And you really got to whack a pipe in order to take a chunk out of it or scratch it. So yes, piping artist Steph. Break those pipes out and get them going. Get them nice and colored. Your unfinished pipe will end up looking something like this. They look stained, but they're not. This used to be ghost white, practically. Another one of my favorites, usually a Saturday pipe. Brad Crosby, hey to you. Mr. Kopecki, haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen anybody in a while. Happy Friday, Kevin. Doug Owen does not have a website. Sorry, he's behind the times. I guess he does quite well without one. If you're lucky, Doug will put his email or his phone number up for you. A word of caution, though, he sells a lot of really nice nautical stuff. You could end up losing your shirt. Good evening, Maui Dan Tuo, whoever you are. Thanks for coming by, Curmudgeon Piper. Joe, yes, I do have probably more smooth pipes than rusticated, but I do have a fair number of them rusticated. There we go with information for cargo hold. Adam Crow. I'm reading that as Southeast Connecticut. Good to see you. Kevin Corrigan, your son James. Rings a bell. I think we went through this last week. I think I know who you are. What am I up to for the weekend? My daughter is in New York till I think tomorrow night. And She typically is a night owl, and I usually end up waking up a few times during the night because she's noisy. So I'm looking forward to a full night's sleep tonight. So is my wife. And other than that, tomorrow's going to be a day of rest. I did all the laundry today. The lawn is done. Did a lot of errands. And my Zippo isn't going to work because the flint just flew right out of it. '75 in Nevada. It's 68 here in central Connecticut. I thought I saw the sun peek through a few minutes ago, but now it's dark again. Yes, Kevin from Natick. He doesn't bother me at all. Anybody who watches my stuff doesn't bother me at all. Pipes, etc. Greetings to you. Good to see you. Lots of interesting stuff going by here. Oh, thank you very much, Kevin. Real talk. Who's your favorite Beatle? Oh, Brad, that's going way back. I would have to say John Lennon. Roger, thank you very much for coming to the chat, and thank you for watching the videos. Always nice to meet people that are out there that I don't usually get to talk to. So, yes, thank you very much. Steve-O just ordered a Savinelli 320 and some Haunted Bookshop. I have a 320 here. You're going to love it. Because I'm so used to the 673, the 320 still feels a little bit like a little too bulky for me. But I'm sure you'll do just fine with it. And Haunted Bookshop tastes really good in it. Squadron Leader, great stuff. Good evening, Tinker Toy 701. Good to see you. 105 in the house. Always like to shoot for 102. We'll take any extras we can get. I couldn't tell you, John, why. I'm assuming that's Samuel Gawith. Why it's so hard to get. There's always such weird stuff about tobaccos being discontinued or the shipping to the US stops. I don't understand it all. but it usually has something to do with that. The new small batch. I love Cornell and Deal. I think they're a great company. They have a great product, but I can't even keep up with the stuff that they come out with. And it's just too overwhelming for me, which is another reason that I really don't order any new tobaccos. I just stick with my Haunted Bookshop, Big and Burley. Too confusing. Ah, Aristocob just lit up a 320. Yes, I have tried Presbyterian mixture. I love it. I think I've had 2 or 3 tins in my time. Hey, Ralph, that's pretty funny. We did send a lot of tobacco to England back in the day. C&D Exhausted Rooster. I tried that once. They were kind enough to send me a sample from C&D, and it must be predominantly a Virginia, if I remember correctly. And it didn't do anything for me. PBR Street Gang. Artisan's blend is fantastic. Ashton makes some great stuff as well. Old Dark Fired, you can't beat that. Oh, that's my man, Brad, smoking that. Hey, Brad, when are you going to get out and make a video, man? For that matter, have the allergies kicked in yet? Bold Kentucky has put me on my knees in the past, Congo Briar. Got to be very careful smoking that stuff. Pipes and Bees, how are you? Good to see you. Burley Flakes from Cornell and Deal. Great stuff. Great stuff. I haven't tried all of the new series, but I did do the old series 2 or 3 times. And then I think I've done Burley Flake #2 of the new series. I think I've had 3 or 4 tins of that. It's fantastic. I love it. Red Virginia Cake. Orlick Dark Strong Kentucky. Yeah. That was a really weird kind of off the cuff review I did yesterday of the Orlick. I knew I was going to be busy today, and there was somebody out mowing the lawn next door, and I was like, I really have to get this done today. And I ran outside and did it. Totally forgot to give the components in the review, but of course it's Burley in Virginia. Oh, I forgot this doesn't work. Great stuff, though. What's your favorite straight Burley? I'm sure that is. That's a tough one, because I love cube cut and I love ribbon cut Burley. I've been known to even smoke a bowl of white Burley before. I'd have to say ribbon cut. John Brown. If I smoke an aromatic, it has to be a very light, well done aromatic. So you won't catch me usually smoking like a cherry blend. My rule of thumb is I want to be able to taste the leaf, and luckily there are quite a few good aromatics where you can still taste the tobacco. So I really prefer unflavored, though, at the end of the day. Creme brulee. There would be a good tobacco. Little vanilla, little brown sugar or something. So let me see, what else have I got? I'm going on 37 minutes here. I got 111 in the house, 112. My goodness. Pacemaker and Buttons 2023. Hey to you. Yes, a big crowd for sure. And we appreciate all of you here at 860. Because without you, we wouldn't be here. Don Miles, I tried starting my tobacco seeds and nothing came up, which is fine with me because I decided after I initially started the plants that I wasn't going to have time to deal with them anyway. So I threw some seeds out in the backyard. If something happens to come up, then I'll deal with it. But we will see. All righty. I think we're going to call it a night. What's coming up on 860 anyway? Eventually, I hope to do a video on my phone because Patrick Levar there has me all excited about filmmaking on a phone. So I'd like to do that like I did with the iPad. I also have at least 2 reviews I want to do, and probably a story or 2 coming up before June. We'll see if we can get those in there. And then, of course, the live streams will continue as long as we are having the luck that we've had the last couple months. Thank you all for joining tonight, and I will wish you all a great weekend. Thanks for coming by.